Hey y'all, my name is Derrick Mullen. They call me D-Mo, and I am an ActorHolic.
I'm the only one of us who's never been married, but I'm also someone who's living a life that most people dream of, okay? You want my honest opinion on marriage? It puts a halt in your life. You're no longer free. You have to consider whatever your husband thinks about whatever it is you want to do in life.
I'm just so tired of being who and what everyone expects me to be.
What are you talking about?
You wake up one day in life and realize you never got to truly live the life you wanted to live because you were so obsessed with pleasing his.
So this is what we've come to?
It's really not a good time, okay?
They think that your life revolves around them and that your happiness is found in them.
Welcome everyone, My name is Derrick Dion Williams. I'm your host of the podcast, I'm an ActorHolic. And keep it simple, you know, what I do is I get the insights, the views, the opinions, I try to even pull out personal experiences from actors, directors, producers, you know, because I just want to give back for one, but everyone who's trying to seek a career in this industry can learn something from somebody. We always can learn, right? We don't know everything.
That's right.
So without further ado, I want to introduce to some or to those that don't know, this is Mr. Derrick Mullen of the Mullen Group, as well as Fruit Bearing Studios. Y'all give him a hand. Right. Yes. First of all, Derrick, man, how are you, my brother?
I'm great, man. I'm just just glad to be here. Thanks for bringing me to the show, bringing me to your live. I've been watching you do what you do, and it's definitely good to be in the same space with you, even in this industry, because I know a lot of people don't really know our history. But just given that, how we the acquaintance that we came, how we came about is just pretty cool just to still see us in the same, working within the same space. Yes, and I know that with that we can help one another and also to help others, help others that's in this industry as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to the conversation and always seeing how to leave a mark in this industry, basically.
Yes, sir. So how we met, for those that don't know, we first we got a mutual friend by the name of Stan B. Lackey.
Right.
And Derrick and I both, we got pipes, y'all. We can blow now. We can blow for real, and that's one of the things that because we actually met at a corporate company. I won't give the name, but
yeah, because you know why? Because they ain't paying for this segment, so we ain't giving no names.
You know what I'm saying? So we met in the corporate field, and man, to actually realize that now we're both pursuing a career in this industry is crazy, like you said, man, because we were trying to pursue a career in entertainment.
Yeah.
And then to find out that we're now doing this, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So the independent space, man, is it's amazing, actually. I mean, and I can tell you just from myself, like like you said earlier, like we was pursuing, and I gotta go way back, just pursuing things to be a singer in this realm, and at one point in time, I was pursuing even to be an actor. So I would do all the actors, extra calls and everything, because I'm from Fort Lauderdale. So for those who don't know, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, born and raised. On the beach is where I spend most of my days. But being from Fort Lauderdale, one of the things I did, I really enjoy movies. I love entertainment, number one. So I thought I would become a singer. Mm-hmm. So I used to do a lot of singing, which also led me to, here in Georgia. But also too, I really like movies, but never knew that I would be actually behind the lens at this juncture for real in my life. I mean, really, I didn't even think movies was even a thing, for me at all. So to see the time that I spent, like, when I got to know Stanley, and him and I and a group was singing together, and then then our lives just we just living life, right? So to see some of these things come full circle now. Stanley, is an actor. You're an actor. I'm in behind the scenes making films. Never would have thought any of that would happen at all. So that's one of the cool things about where we are and how things come full circle.
Wow, you spoke him up, man. He just joined the live.
Okay, what's up, Sea Breeze?
So Derrick, you started to go into your background. I want to know what or who inspired you to get started in this, man.
Ooh, wow, filmmaking in general.
Yeah, filmmaking.
I'll say this. Background wise, when I was going to college, I started working for Blockbuster. I can say that, because they're not around anymore. But I started working for Blockbuster, and again, how I'm really telling you, because again, I started when I was just in college, and I was just that person who was just running tapes back to the wall, and so, and then just over time, actually became my career. I actually worked for Blockbuster about 11 years, just as just working as management, upper management, things of that nature. Traveled around the United States, being with Blockbuster. But I've always enjoyed watching movies and watching the behind the scenes and how the film was made. Like when DVDs came out, that was like the greatest thing, because you can always get those deleted scenes, and it would show you all these deleted scenes and how they made the film and things of that nature. So I was just always enamored with that. And then after that, I don't know. And I think what happened really, man, to be honest with you, someone just put an iPhone in my hand.
Wow.
And when I did that, I think in 2000, and this was just recent, so to say that I had aspirations to do this is not, I didn't really think that at all. It just happened I had an iPhone, and when I moved back to Atlanta, I just started recording some of my friends. We just were kind of recording some of the things because we like to cook. So I would just kind of record our little segments cooking. And then from there, I just kind of start taking the segments and I start editing them on the iMovie on the phone. And then I just start posting it. So then I created this channel called Chefing in Atlanta. And then from there, man, it just I just started realizing that, I like doing this. I like editing and I like, shooting. So most of the time I was always behind the camera. So rarely was I ever like cooking, but I can cook, and you'll see some excerpts. If you go in, if you look it up, you'll see it. But I said all that to say that that's pretty much where it started. Okay. And then from there, I linked up with a friend of mine. I befriended a friend of mine. She was doing stage plays back in St. Louis because I lived in St. Louis for a while. And so I enjoyed the stage plays. I thought the storylines were really, really good. And I just one day said, hey, based on what I'm doing right now, I said, I think we can make a movie. Didn't have a clue about how to do it. Never been to film school, nothing like that. So I just figured that, with the way I would shoot, editing, we can make something happen. So, and I think 5-7 years later, now we on movie number 4. So that's the Cliff Notes short story of it. But that's pretty much how I started. So as far as the inspiration, even during that process of it all, to answer your question, I just always enjoyed Spike Lee and Steven Spielberg. So those, the list can go on and on from a lot of the other filmmakers that's out there. But definitely the storytelling of, of course, Spike Lee. I've always enjoyed how he would tell stories, and it just grew from there. And I just started learning how those individuals shot films or in depth. So there's a lot of inspiration out there, but definitely that's where it started.
Well, one thing I noticed about some of the projects that I've seen you do is it's the quality, man. It looks amazing. And for so many people who start off, without any training or education or any real knowledge about it, hey, we talked about gift earlier.
Right.
So, man, you're gifted, brother. You are gifted. And there's people out there, I'm pretty sure, that's like, man, I'm scared because what if it's not this quality, or, what if the lighting is off, the audio? How important is it to you to make sure all of that is, like, do you prepare it all before you get started, make sure everything is
yeah. I want to go back to what you're saying. Like, you said, A lot of people are afraid to do it because they're not sure. And trust me, that same thing was for me. I literally just took the time and just assessed a lot of different things I saw on YouTube as far as just people talking about lighting, people talking about certain film things and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you learn by doing. So, I mean, I could take my first film, The Wake Up Call, I probably pick it apart at this point now. But if I never did it, I wouldn't have learned from that. So what I'm saying is that you have to start in order to learn. Because you got to learn from your failures. You got to learn from your mistakes. If you don't, then you didn't try hard enough. Right. To be honest with you. So it's like, so failure is part of the process. Mistakes are part of the process. If you're not making mistakes, I just say you need to make enough mistakes so that way so you can learn not to do them on your next venture or whatever it is that you're doing. So
I love that.
So that's it right there. But I can tell you this. Lighting. So what I understood after a while, once I understood, I said I know how to hold a camera. I know how to shoot, and I'll continue to learn, other different angles and things of that nature. But the biggest piece was every time I went and shot a film, I said, I'm improving my lighting. I'm gonna make sure my sound is good. So I learned that from the first time. I knew how sound was and how I hear the hollow room. Just certain things I just learned in the process. And so, lighting and sound is important. The camera, we know what it does. The person behind it is that's going to be the key of it. But that lighting and sound has got to be key.
Now, when it comes to the camera, I know you said you started off with the iPhone. What camera are you using
now? Currently?
Now.
Well, let me say this. I'm gonna say the name of the camera because I want Sony to make sure that they understand who using a product. But I started with an iPhone. And I'm telling you, man, I could tell you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was gonna shoot my first film using an iPhone, for real.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised people were doing it.
But I mean, back then, we're talking about 2017. I really thought I was gonna shoot my first film with an iPhone, but so what happened is a friend of mine said, hey man, I got this Sony. It was a Sony A99 camera, DSLR camera. I never used a camera like that in my life. And he said, hey, I want you to just try this camera out. He didn't know I was making a movie, but he said, I just want you to try this camera out. It's a gentleman that goes to my church. He said, I just want you to try this camera out. And I'm like, oh, okay. That camera sat on the floor of my bedroom for like 2 weeks without me even touching it. And then one day I decided to pick it up and I just started, playing around with it, taking pictures with it. I'm like, oh, okay, I see the little different things. And literally that was how I made my first film with that camera. I didn't know what I was doing with it. Like literally, I know my ISO. For those who don't know what this is, but my ISO was changing. I didn't know nothing about auto white balance and none of that stuff. But I learned by doing it. As I was shooting that film, I started learning it. Like, oh, okay, this is what happened. So I got to change it. So no matter what happened in that scene, the next day, I made that adjustment. So that's so. So Sony is the brand camera that I use. The camera I use that I just finished shooting our most recent film with was a Sony FX3. That's what I'm using currently.
Okay. Awesome, man. Awesome. I just love it. I'm taking my time with your journey. If you can tell. I'm just trying to make sure people get it, man. Like don't be afraid to, like you said, fail. And when you fall, hopefully you fall on your back, not on your face.
Right.
But when you fall on your back, you can look up. There's another opportunity for you. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you fall on your face, you just have to brush it off and get up, using both hands and your feet and get up too.
That's right. So, man, Derrick, man, tell us about, the Mullen Group, and then we'll go into, the First Bearing Studios. But how did that come about?
So,
what's your vision, by the way, on that?
Yeah, I mean, so basically, Mullen Group was formed because when I really started, that Mullen Group was basically a name that I adopted from my grandfather. So my grandfather was a business owner, he's an entrepreneur, and he had a healthcare business back in St. Louis, and it was called Mullen Group. And in honor of him, I just adopted the same name for the production company. So when I started Mullen Group Productions, I was doing wedding films, I'm doing, other side projects, small commercials, small branding shoots, things of that nature, photography. So I'm using that, using that name for all of that. When I joined forces with KMW Productions that was owned by Kyrie Williams, and they, you know, because they were stage plays, they did stage plays. And when we did the first film, we did the second film, the third film, we did it under those two names. And we just got to a point where like, hey, we don't want people to, you know, I don't want people to try to figure out like who Mullen Group is and then who's KMW when they saw us, because even when I wasn't doing movies, I was still doing things under the Mullen Group brand. So we decided to form a new company, and we wanted to make sure that we had the right name that made sense to what it is and the type of movies that we were producing. And so that's how we came up with Fruit Bearing Studios, because Fruit Bearing Studios is about bearing fruit for the kingdom, bearing fruit, you know. So, and I can tell you like the bottom line why I came up to be Fruit Bearing Studios, because at the end of the day, you know, the Bible, God says that you could tell a tree by the fruit that it bears. And so I always wanted to bear witness to be, you know, to produce good fruit, because, you know, the word says that an axe is waiting by the root of the tree to cut it down if it doesn't bear fruit. So I would just want to make sure. So now that's when I do films, I want to make sure those films are definitely inspirational, you know, that inspire people, that's going to give growth, hope, faith, and love. So that's where Fruit Bearing Studios comes from.
So most of your films are going to be Christian based?
They will be, yeah, definitely Christian based. So I'll just say faith based inspirational films.
Okay.
You know, so, but yeah, definitely it comes from a Christian background. So yes, it'll be faith based, Christian based.
Okay. And so the Mullen Group and what was the other name of the
Fruit Bearing Studios?
No, not Fruit Bearing.
KMW.
So you guys formed Fruit Bearing Studios, and that's what you guys operate under together.
Yeah, that's what we operate together now.
Okay.
So Mullen Group itself is still a separate entity, and it still produces films as well, but or other projects. But definitely Fruit Bearing Studios is just like, you know, it's what we identify with as far as making those faith-based inspirational films.
Now, under Fruit Bearing Studios, the most or the biggest project that you guys done together, is it The Company You Keep?
Yeah. So the first project under that brand, because Fruit Bearing Studios was formed actually earlier this year, and so now we have our first film that is called The Company You Keep, that we just premiered recently here in Atlanta as well as in St. Louis, and so it should be coming out soon. Like I said, we just submitted it to our distributor, so we're waiting to get that official release date so that we can announce it to everybody when that's going to come out. But definitely be looking, because all our films that that we have now can be found on Amazon, Tubi, or YouTube, for that matter.
Okay. So will that one be on either one of those platforms? Amazon?
I definitely want to say it will be on Amazon. It will definitely be on Tubi.
Okay. Awesome. Go ahead and share a couple of the films that are on Amazon and Tubi.
Okay, so right now, if you look up, I always make it easy. If you don't remember any of the films, you can really just Google Derrick Mullen, and you will see all the movies that's been produced that's out there. But the first official film that we made is The Waco Call. The Waco Call is it's got a lot of buzz. A lot of people love the storyline behind The Waco Call. The second film, which is our most popular film, and I guess sometimes it's popular too because it's Christmas, right? So our second film is called The New Husband for Christmas. It's still doing really well, although this film's been out for over 4 years now.
Wow.
It's been out over just a little bit over 3 years now, and it's still doing pretty well. It got over 1.7 million views on on YouTube. It has over 650 reviews on Amazon, so we're really proud of that, and and just the message that's actually that's still being left with a lot of people. The film that we recently did just in 2021 is The Gift of Grace. And The Gift of Grace, again, another great film that's inspirational, that a lot of people still, there's a lot of great messages and nuggets in that film that we get. We've seen a lot of different viral reviews on TikTok about it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So we're just excited about the growth of because to be honest with you, to being a faith-based independent film company in the genre that we in is not as popular. It's not popular. I can tell you right now that if I made a movie right now that was about sex, drugs, and what have you,
Yeah, I know.
it would be bananas on Tubi.
Oh yeah.
But one of the things I can say is that we're still in great competition, even in the type of genre that we in, because obviously, you know, the stories are relatable to people, and again, I just believe that God is in the midst of it. So.
Yeah, man. I think as long as you're relatable, and because everybody goes through something, and you can. I mean, I always say, hey, if you could touch one person, you know, you did your job. You feel
Right.
Tell me, what are some of your biggest challenges as a director, producer, since you've been in this game? What are some of your biggest challenges?
You know, for real, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the biggest challenge at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it boils back down for me is capital. You know, capital is like, you need all of that really every time before you start a film, and to think that you don't, you're being really naive, especially today. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't go out and go make a film with no money. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but it's gonna be very rare that you find anybody to work for no money.
That's right.
And I'll be honest with you, and I say this, and I give kudos to the people that worked on set with us on our first film, The Wake Up Call, because that's the only time that we had people that worked. They volunteered.
Pro bono.
Pro bono. They volunteered because I think a lot because they were bought in too, because they were most of the people that worked on that were in the stage plays, so it was good. After that, but right after that, we said, hey, when we're gonna move forward, we're gonna find a way to pay people. So we're just fortunate enough that where we can pay, you know, every time that we get on set, we're able to put a budget together and pay anybody. But I'll be honest, that's my biggest challenge. The biggest challenge is you know, finding money to make these films. And you know, one of the things I can say that we raised our own money to do our films every time. So
awesome.
That's why I say that's been the most, you know, positive side. But we just taking that money, kind of reinvesting back into our business, so we can make the next project. So, but I mean, that's not probably my biggest challenge. I mean, actors, finding the right actors, I think is I won't say it's as challenging. It's just that now at this point, you try to make sure that you want to find the right fit for what it is that you do, because you know the actors matter.
Yeah,
you know,
you got a story to tell.
Actors matter. Yeah, actors matter. You need the right person that's going to tell that story.
Exactly. Now, do you do a lot of the selecting when it comes to the actors, or?
I'm part of the casting call section. I can't say it's not, so it's not just me. So,
right.
But it's a team of us that, you know, when we do have our casting calls, we definitely make sure to be very selective. But it's not just me; it's just the other people that's involved too. Yeah. So it's some people that might say like, "Nah, I don't like this person," but I'm like, "Yeah, but I do, because this person brings this." So I think we have a way of balancing out and kind of seeing the other side, because some people may see one thing, but me as a director, it's like I'm definitely looking forward from not just on the surface. I'm looking at also what is that may also come out of this individual as well. Yeah. Once they're on camera, sometimes you really even never know during the audition right. if this person is the one.
It's the right fit.
Because sometimes it's just like anything else. You can pass a test, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you answer the question right, but keep asking those questions, you know, with different ways, and you just start realizing like, oh man, this person wasn't who I thought it was, or man, this person was way better than who I thought they were. That's why I say it's just sometimes like flip the coin, boom.
Wow.
Hey, Janessa. I see Janessa just joined.
Hey, Janessa. Man, this is good. This is some good stuff, man. So we talked about, you know, the capital being one of the biggest challenges. I don't know if this is too personal or not for you, but to do a quality film, what's a range of what the budget should be to do a decent, you know, film?
Well, man, okay. So here is the where you gonna? Okay, so here's what I believe. It's not so much about money. It's really about the people involved in the project. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does take money, you know, to have a quality project. But like we said earlier, if I wanted to, I could have shot it with an iPhone. But it's just making sure that I had the right lighting, the right sound. I mean, a lot of that just still plays by the right people. So I don't think money is just so much the difference maker in making a quality film. Now, what makes money become the deciding factor is because if you maybe want to work with a certain individual, they may request certain money. You might say, hey, look, I don't got the budget to pay you. You know what I'm saying? Like if Denzel Washington came up on the scene, but Denzel, I ain't got the money to pay you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to find somebody else who is probably just as talented, but I don't have to pay myself. So money is.
That's right, Janessa.
Money is not the deciding factor. I really believe it's the quality of the people that you're working with that's going to make the difference between your film. You know, because let's be honest. Come on, let's be honest. We've seen $100, $1 million blockbusters that were, spend a lot of money to make a film, but that movie was probably terrible, right? But so it doesn't matter. It's not the money. It's the quality of the people that you're working with. So Kari is like my executive producer. She's my partner in this business. She said if Denzel came, we finding the money. Okay.
She thinking in the future, like you said. She's like, okay, because this guy gonna bring the money. He's gonna bring back that.
But even
you know what I'm saying?
But even like what Janessa just said, she said it's quality over quantity. That is key. It's quality over quantity, baby. That's it.
All day long.
I mean, it's just like a Derrick, like say. I mean, I know you're talking about me, but I'm gonna bring you up too, bro. Because like, dude, when I saw you in game night, let's be honest. Here's the thing, and here is the thing about us. We as being independent, or I'm an independent filmmaker. I know even you as an actor, right? No one really recognizes us until they see it from a Hollywood standard. To be honest with you. Until they see it like that, like, oh, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I saw Derrick, now I knew you did some acting, but then I was like, Derrick on game night, what? And then and it was again the film quality. You were the all-star cast of people. Yeah. So again, but that helps you elevate your talents because now you actually really truly be showcased. We out here. But a lot of people just don't know until like until they see it like that. So
yeah.
While I was working on the side doing photography, I working on the side doing videos, making these, doing wedding shoots. But that was the hustle behind it. So at the end of the day, everything that we do, it's a hustle to get to where we are. And I'm still not there yet. So what I'm saying is that we're I see space being made because now, like I told you, now I was able to use our own money to make a film. We've been able to make it, every time. So it's definitely happening. But like a lot of people think success takes it overnight, and it's not. It is a continuous process of consistency and dedication. Because again, as long as you're consistent, again, that door's gonna open up for you as long as you're consistent. So
right.
So again, that's why even for you, like you can still say there's success on the other side of it. If you stop acting, you may have never got that game night, right? You feel what I'm saying? I look at Stan Lackey, like I look at you guys because we all within that same space. I know Stan from when we were singing back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So so still see people on that journey pursuing it. Janessa is on here. Like Janessa is somebody who went from St. Louis to Hollywood, pursuing their goals and their dreams. So you have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to make that happen. So and I'm sure that there's a lot of people on here who can speak to that. So I don't know if I answered the question, but
no,
that's
No, you did. I mean, focus, dedication, and just realizing what your calling is, man. What you're born to do on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, is important and key, to your success. So D, man, before we go, what advice could you give a young entrepreneur, director, producer, about this industry, or any leg you can give them that they can stand on?
I'm gonna just say it like this, and I'm trying to keep it real simple. Well, one is that you don't have to go the traditional route to be successful. That's one. But the one thing I always remember, and I'll tell this to anybody, is at the end of the day, somebody is waiting for you to show up. Plain and simple.
I love
somebody, that. Whatever your challenges in life, whatever you're going through in life, somebody is waiting for you to show up to share your story. So they can say, man, based on what this person said to me, I realized that I could do it. See, I don't know what your story is, Derrick. But somebody else is one day is going to wait to hear that story because it's going to relate to them. Everybody only may not relate to my story, but there's somebody there's maybe one person who relates. Like, I relate to what he's saying. So at the end of the day, we're here. Like, I'm being honest with you, we're here to be servants in this world, man. At the end of the day, if you're living a selfish life where you're just trying to keep it all to yourself, you ain't helping nobody. But that's why I said at the end of the day, there's no secret to no success. It's just, hey, it's hard work, dedication, and commitment, and being able to share your story with somebody else. So all I'm telling you is that everybody who's listening on here right now, somebody wait for you to show up. So don't hold back on what it is that you're doing, because somebody's waiting for you to show up. That's
man,
it.
I love that, man. Hey. Oh, crap. Nah, but man, that's dope, man. I love that, man. Okay, so I want to thank you, Derrick, man, for coming on and sharing your time with us, man. And, you know, we got to work, brother. I mean, there's a reason why we met, and now you know, hey, you got two brothers who ready to be called. You just let us know when you got those projects for us. So
absolutely, my friend. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, man, let's like say in this work, in this industry, that's why I said, but that's why I love being in the position I'm in right now, because I can make a way for anybody that want to break, that want to, you know, maybe they wait for that next call, but I'm just letting you know, hey, call me. We can make something happen. We can make something happen. So yeah. Again, Zara, appreciate the opportunity, man. It was definitely a pleasure to even meet you, to work with you, and seeing that we come full circle, you know, all together. So again, I don't believe in this, that none of this being an accident. You know, this is still purpose in some way. So again, just thank you for the opportunity to be here on ActorHolic.
Before we go, give those who don't have your social sites or, you know, your pages.
Yep. Definitely right now, for all of the films that's been out right now, make sure you follow us at Fruit Bearing Studios. That's where you're going to see everything that we're doing from a filmmaking aspect. And then also to make sure that you also follow my other business page, which is Mullen Group Productions, or Mullen Group. That's all it is, Mullen Group. And again, make sure you watch the films that we have, and can't wait for you guys to see the release date of our next film, The Company You Keep, coming soon next month.
Man, such a pleasure. And for those who haven't joined my social sites, it's ActorHolics Pod on all the sites. So I want to thank you again, Derrick, man. You have a great rest of your night, brother, and we're going to catch up.
All right, let's do it.
All right, man.